All right, so we made a good bit of progress here on our Hooligan bike. All right, as you can see here, we got the rocker boxes on, we got the intake on and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna go over it and show you. First, I'm gonna go ahead and show you our wiring harness that we did. All right, so this is my basic wiring harness that I did. You can go ahead and screenshot this if you want so you can have it. Basically, what we ended up doing here is we've got our battery right there. Power goes directly to a starter. Then another cable comes back up to a 30 amp circuit breaker. From there, we have 3 leads on it. One lead goes to the voltage regulator, which goes to the stator. The other lead goes all the way over to our starter relay. I'll get to that in a minute. Then the other lead goes up and it's part of the assembly up here, which is my start-stop switch assembly. So power goes there, you put it on the on switch, that power then goes to the center on the coil. That powers the coil, powers the 2000i Dynatech, and then there is another lead off of there that goes back into the start switch. You press the button on that, that lead then comes down, activates this relay, which then activates your starter solenoid. So I'll go ahead and show you in the wiring harness what we're going on with. So you can see in here, this is our battery, right? So we've got our anti-gravity battery. That's our positive lead for it. That positive lead comes down and comes back down onto this post on the starter, right? So there you go. The other positive lead that you see on there, right, the skinnier one, that just goes to our battery tender plug. So there's the only 2 on there. So it goes onto there. As you can see, there's a smaller wire that comes off of that. That comes back up there, and then it goes here to our circuit breaker. Then we have our 3 leads from our circuit breaker. One lead goes here to your starter relay. The other lead actually comes from the voltage regulator. And then that third one goes back up this harness. And actually, it's one of these guys. It goes into the start switch assembly right up there. All right. So you press this button. That 12 volts then is able to pass back down there, and then it's on your coil right here in the middle. All right. So another white cord goes back up through here, back all the way up into the switch housing, and you can press it and your starter will engage. All right. But with it off, it won't. So there we go. Then you have your blue and your pink lead. Those come from your what do you call that thing? Your ignition module. So you have your blue and your pink lead here. Those come from your Dynatech ignition module, as well as one of these other white leads comes from there. Now that's all you really need to get your wiring running. Is you just need these 3 hooked up, your blue, your white, and your pink coming off of your 2000i. But I'm using a Vose switch. So if we come back over here to this side, that means I had to use this purple cable, right? That comes off the ignition. This black is just a ground, all right? So, and all my grounds are just connected to the negative terminal on the battery. So anyways, so you come back to here. This is your Vose switch. There's also another green wire that's a part of your ignition assembly. That's for attack. We're not using that. So it's just hidden up in there. And then you can see there all my grounds are connected there to the negative terminal, and then this big fat negative is connected to the motor down there. So that's how we got that going for the ignition. Now we got our CV carburetor installed, right? I ended up doing the brass fuel inlet. I've already rejetted this for the 1275. I've also gone ahead and done my throttle cable modifications that I've shown you guys before. And yeah, oh, and also another thing we did. Another thing we did that I forgot to mention is this right here. I went ahead and got factory style connectors and just used those. So these are just like what the factory uses, the douche style connectors. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but yeah, I just used those. Super easy, got them on Amazon. They're easy to put together. I'll do a video on that later on at some point. We also went ahead, put these rocker box covers on it. They're just stock style rockers. Didn't do like any roller rockers or anything like that. That's cool. Did plugs from an XR 1200. So got recommended to run those. And yeah, that's about where we are right now on this bike. So yeah, there we go. Oh, also another thing we did is we added our new clutch cable. So to be able to use the kind of perches I wanted, right? Being able to use like 7/8 bars, I got a cable assembly from a Buell Ulysses. And the great thing about that is it works down there and you don't have to do any modification to be able to use it in a regular 7/8 clamp, clutch lever. Whereas if you use like a factory Sportster one, you gotta like grind it down and work with it. So yeah, there we go. So that being said, that's where we're at right now with this build. I know it's going to be a bit of a shorter video than what you guys are used to, but just wanted to show you guys all what's going on. And hopefully this next video will be a test fire. And let's see what's going. Right now, all I've done is a couple of starts like you saw there to just get the, get the oil pump moving and circulating oil through it. And that's about it. Till next time, later.